Hit it, baby. Welcome to the 505. I'm old and fat, but still alive. I voiced some games, I had some luck. But as a gamer, folks, I suck. That's why I'm inviting you to guide this aging boomer through. So bibbity boo, and welcome to Uncle G's Tea House. It's a you and me house. Drinks are always free house. A to be or not to be house. Or someone in a tree house. Captain Hook and Smee house. A Merry Melody house and episodes of Glee House. Who writes this shit? Uncle G's Tea House. Good evening, dear nieces and nephews. It's good to be back here in Uncle G's Tea House. We had a bit of a vacay last week. I must warn you, though, tonight is going to feel just a little bit different. Not sad, not exactly, just full. Do you ever walk into a room and feel like the air has weight to it? Yeah, that. Because this is our slightly belated Mother's Day show. And I have been thinking about my own mother, and her name was Raydeen Baldwin. Her favorite film was Gone with the Wind, and she believed with heart and soul that she was the Scarlett O'Hara of Freer, Texas. And you know what? She sort of was. Now, Freer, Texas. Freer, Texas. East of Laredo, west of Corpus. Lonesome Dove country. When we drove down there for a visit and we finally spotted the town water tower rising out of the brush country, my father would invariably break into this song. Freer, 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 where you can drink beer without fear. Fun fact. My dad was raised by Southern Baptist up in North Texas and had led a liquor-free existence for most of his young life. Once he discovered our mutual friend, Mr. Booze, well, let's just say he had an innate natural gift for it. As they say back in Texas, I'll come by it honest. Now, Dad was a college student, and he showed up in Freer one summer to work in the oil fields. And Mom took one look at his fancy-ass college boy shoes, and man, that was all she wrote. My mother was not a subtle woman. She was elemental, a force of fucking nature with a pronounced Texas accent. My mother could turn the word shit into a four-syllable event. I kid you not. She used to talk about lying in bed when she was pregnant with me, Jesus Christ, 65 years ago, and she would say to me, Gregory Dean, you would kick me so hard, the ashtray on my belly would jump up about half an inch. It was a very different world back then, friends. Apparently, I came into this world making noise, and my mother was steady enough to contain it. Now, I know Mother's Day can be complicated. Some of you had great moms. I did. Some of you had advanced difficulty settings. Some of you are moms, and God love you for that. I have personally witnessed the miracle of childbirth exactly twice. And to be honest with you, it looks like it might sting just a little. So, hats off to women. Men, we're delicate. Anywho, we're going to laugh a little tonight. We're going to have a drink, we're going to do some gaming, we'll sing a song or two, and we're also going to talk about mothers. My mother, your mother. I suspect we might also cry just a little bit. Because if there is one thing I know, my nieces and nephews, it is this. There is tragedy in simply being human. It's baked in. But so is a mother's love. Let's get right to it. Now, tonight's cocktail is called a Jungle Gardenia. I know, that sounds less like a drink and a lot more like a lounge act, but stay with me. Milk is the official beverage of childhood. Cookies, cartoons, somebody telling you to go to bed when you're absolutely not tired. For reasons that will become increasingly clear and mildly irresponsible, we're adding some bourbon to that. Because at some point in life, you stop wanting to be tucked in and you just start wanting a goddamn drink. Now, back to my mother did not enter rooms. She arrived. Flowing hostess gowns, oversized sunglasses, indoors,
Welcome to a better place.
Jungle Gardenia perfume that let you know she was nearby before God did. And she smoked these long brown cigarettes, constantly, because of course she did. Our drink tonight is dedicated to her memory. Bourbon, milk, little sugar, vanilla, a candied orange peel to add a little floral note. And here's the kicker, just a tiny hint of smoke. Now, relax. I'm not talking actual tobacco. We're not making prison hooch. Although, let's put a pin in that for our incarceration extravaganza. Anyway, folks, let's make the drink. Away we go, which, fun fact, was the original title of Oklahoma, but I digress. Okay, we're going to make a Jungle Gardenia. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a glass right here. We're going to add 2 ounces of bourbon. Maker's Mark is usually my preferred bourbon. Maker's Mark has not paid me as an endorsement, but I will say I have always enjoyed their product immensely. So there we go. There's 2, and tradition. Might be a little one for me too. You guys. Smooth. All right. Ooh, I got a little on my hand. Smell like a distillery in Kentucky. Now what we're going to add, Mother's Day. Here we go. I have it right here in this handy dandy refrigerator. We're going to add 1 ounce of whole milk. That's a whole mother thing, right? So here we go. The official beverage of childhood. We're going to put 1 ounce in there, okay? That's shaping up nicely. Now I'm going to add about half an inch. Oh, I'm improvising now. I tell you, that couldn't have hit me that hard just now, huh?
Oh, no.
Give it a second. Half an ounce, half an inch. Actually, it's about the same. Half an ounce of sugar syrup. I generally like to use this blue agave. It's absolutely sweet, and I don't know. I like saying blue agave, So we're going to add a pretty generous dollop of that into there, like so. And we're going to add just a little bit of vanilla, also a half an ounce, or an inch, as I said before. Half an inch worm, measure me a marigold. All right, in that goes. Now I'm going to give that a little bit stirring, because now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, next up comes the really fun part. How does that look? Oh, wait a minute. All right, good. I was afraid for a minute. Did that milk go bad? It's not supposed to. It's shelf stable. All right, there we go. Actually, pretty good. And now's the fun part. I just bought this yesterday, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. But, again, Mom liked to smoke. So it seemed to me that what we need is a little bit of smoke. So I'm going to do a little fire bending now. So run for your lives, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Fire is the element of power. Power. All right, we're gonna light this up. Light it up. Get it good and smoky.
What is that?
I don't know. I got it at Total Wine yesterday. I have another one, but it's very big and it's very bulky. It's like a big box. And it's like I wanted something that was just a little easier to contain. So this says like get this bad boy burning for 30 whole seconds. So that is what I'm doing. I'm not counting the 30 seconds, but kind of assuming it's fun. Fire is the element of power.
It's definitely starting to smell smoky.
It's starting to smell smoky. All right, get that in there. Good, baby. Get that smoky. Now I'm going to take this off, baby. Take this off. I'm going to do that. Boom. And we're supposedly going to let that supposedly just fill with smoke. Is it filling with smoke?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah.
I can't quite see it. What do you guys think? You in the chat. Is it filling up with smoke? I don't know, man.
I can definitely see it.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Now I can see it because we want to add just a little note. And again, if you guys have watched this show, I am not many things on this show. I am not a professional singer. I am certainly not a professional bartender. Okay, but what we're going to do with this now is we're going to do this. Okay, I'm going to invert this like this. Take this off. Do that. I'm going to put the stopper on it. I'm going to pour this into there. Essentially, what we're going to do. Pour that in. That's kind of thick looking. I don't know, man. Vanilla. I don't know if I get botulism from this. That's going to be an interesting thing. Please, because I got a con this weekend. So we're going to just sort of let that sit in there for a little while. Sort of, let that smoke incorporate into it just a little bit. While it's doing that, I'm going to add some ice to this glass right here. Good amount of ice, And honestly, I have not tried this drink. It may very well suck. I mean, I think... it's bourbon and milk and vanilla and sugar. I can't imagine anything would be too awful about that. And so, okay, now I will pour it in over the ice. Bada bing, bada boom, like so. It's kind of like a White Russian, actually. Probably gonna be very similar to a White Russian. And then, because my mom's favorite perfume was Jungle Gardenia, I'm gonna add a candied orange peel into that right at the top. If a professional bartender does that, do not take the... I'm the only one drinking. But if you see another bartender doing that, run the other way, my nieces and nephews. All right, so I think that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. And here's the thing. You see that little floral note that I put in there? That's not flavor. That is memory. And then that whisper of smoke, that's also memory. Sometimes... the people we love don't come back as stories. They come back as aromas, perfume, cigarette smoke. Something that hits you before your brain has time to protect you. And we actors, we call that sense memory. My mother smelled of Jungle Gardenia perfume and cigarettes and Texas. Strong, unapologetic, unforgettable. And my father, well, he smelled of Old Spice cologne and cigarettes, and Texas. I'm sort of sensing a pattern here. This drink should be comforting. Seems a little strange, and it's probably going to linger longer than we expect, which frankly feels about right, It feels just about right for this show. So anyway, let's give it a try. A Jungle Gardenia. Honor mothers everywhere here is to my mother and to your mother. Here we go. Not bad. We'll be right back. Hello again. Now, before we get too deep tonight, and believe me, we will, we're going to start out with something light, an amuse-bouche, if you will. Now, this song is called Mama Said. I've updated the lyrics because Mama did not specifically warn us about 2026. Still, the central idea holds. Mama says we can all expect an occasional shitstorm, and Ray Dean Baldwin did not just say it. She said it with authority and with a Texas accent. I wasn't Greg or Greggy when I got in trouble. I would hear, Gregory Dean Baldwin, you get your butt in here right now. And I would instinctively know that the weather had somehow turned stormy. My mom grew up in a mythic land of heat and rattlesnakes and oil and mesquite and dust. And she carried that place with her all her life like a crown she never took off. She was tough, and she was sentimental at the same time. Tears came easily to her. Maybe that's because she knew how hard life can sometimes be. She raised 3 boys, and she lost another to a late miscarriage 2 years before I arrived. Now think about that. I am here because somebody else isn't. That is a hell of a thing to ponder, my friends, a hell of a thing. So yeah, Mama said there'll be days like this. She just didn't list all the reasons. So let's have a little fun with that idea, huh? Hit it, baby. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. I woke up, checked my phone again. Another headline hit the fan. Data mining, stocks declining, and a crazy orange man. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. AI's coming for my job. Politicians on the take. It's like a scene out of Les Miserables. Man, it sucks to be awake. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. Then I hear my precious mama cutting through the noise and the hiss. Gregory Dean, you and your drama, there will be days like this. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. Mama said, hey, hey. Mama said, hey, hey. Now, Mama said I shouldn't do this. Sorry, Mama. Mama said, hey, hey. Mama said, hey, hey. Mama said, hey, hey. Mama, ooh, mama. It's hot outside. Ha 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 ha! Hello, welcome back, my nieces and nephews. Now we've tinkered around with the schedule a little bit, so tonight it's going to be a little different. There's some more musical numbers. The show will last 2 hours and a half. And this first segment, whereas usually I'll play a little BioShock, this first segment is dedicated simply to me chatting with you wonderful, wonderful people and going off on tangents and totally forgetting what I was talking about while I'm actually talking about it. But, you know, that's what you come here for. And if we're lucky, the dogs will come in. You never know. The dogs do their own thing. But it's good to be back. The whole fam last week, we were in New York City. Welcome to New York. It was waiting for us, as a matter of fact. Who knew? All right, here are my reviews of New York. First of all, The best thing we saw, and the reason we went to New York, is our son Cooper was appearing in a very avant-garde piece in the Village. So it was kind of cool to actually see my son performing on stage in the Greenwich Village. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Now, moving on to some other shows, I will give you my reviews. And this is something I think you guys will love. If any of you guys, are you guys familiar with a film called The Lost Boys? And I'm not talking, I know we know a lost boy. My own nephew happens to be a lost boy, Rufio. But the musical version of The Lost Boys has opened in New York. And I have to tell you, the first act of Lost Boys, the musical. Oh, so you guys haven't heard of The Lost Boys? All right, well, let me explain. If you haven't heard it, I might get some spoiler alerts because, if you haven't seen the film, it's 30 years later. The statute of limitations has run out on what happens at the end of Lost Boys. But it's about a family that moves to this coastal town in California. And it's a very, very 80s film. It starred both Corys. Kiefer Sutherland was a lead. Anyway, they moved to this town, and it turns out that there's this nest of very cool 80s vampires living there, And Kiefer is the lead vampire. And it's really, who is, you know what? I don't know, Ivan. Who is Iroh's wife? I would love to know that myself. See, my first tangent. I was talking about Lost Boys. I'll circle back to it, but you know what? I don't know who Iroh's wife is. It seems to me that Iroh, the loving man that we know, would at least mention the mother of his child at some point. He does not. But all right, going back to The Lost Boys. A lot of vampires. It's a vampire movie. It's a vampire movie with a sense of humor. It has some genuine thrills in it, but it is like the most quintessentially 80s vampire movie that could ever possibly be made. And Lost Boys, the musical, is based on this 80s movie. And I have to tell you, the special effect, the first act is as solid as anything I've ever seen on Broadway. The scene where the vampires fly, and there's a lot of vampires, watching the wire work. And now, the first time you see them, they're all just floating there, they're just floating there. And then suddenly they all start dancing in midair. Fantastic. Second act, as is often true of most second acts in New York, second act needs maybe a little fine tuning, but the cast, everything was great. If you're in New York, The Lost Boys, I highly recommend it. And the other musical we saw was Jellicle Ball. Now, I don't know if you guys know about Jellicle Ball. It is Cats. It is basically Cats. It is Cats, but it's been put into a New York ball house culture, so it's very much a competition the way it's done. And if you've ever seen Cats, Cats is very confusing. Even if you're on a lot of drugs, it's still a very confusing play and musical. And so my review of the Jellicle Ball is it was absolutely wonderful. If you get the chance also, wonderful show, Jellicle Ball. My review of it is best summed up in these words. I laughed, I cried, it was better than Cats. We also had some very good meals, as you do in New York, had some great seafood meals, and I love New York. I do adore the city. I always look so much forward to going to New York City, but I always look forward to coming home. New York City is a lot. It's a lot. After about 4 days, hats off to people that live there. I don't know how you do that. When just a gallon of milk means you have to go out and, timeless conundrum. All right. I saw the Cursed Cats film. And honest to God, I wish it had been the last film we saw before COVID because I thought it would be funny. A dreadful film. But you know what? For me, it was almost, it wasn't quite there, the film version of Cats, but it was almost there. It was almost, what's the word I'm looking for? It was, some things are so bad, they're fun. The Cats movie was almost that, but not. And as for you, Ivan, all right, did I voice Splinter in the 2007 TMNT movie? Well, that is a loaded question, my friend. It is Mako's last credited role. And I actually did, I did, although he is credited and I'm credited as additional voices, I ended up doing probably about 80% of the dialogue. So I'm always very, very squishy about saying that I
voiced Splinter because, on paper I did not. And I'm certainly not going to mess with Mako's last credited role. That's like stolen valor. So when people ask me, did I voice Splinter? I always say when I sign TMNT merchandise, Splinter-ish. Splinter-ish. And we were at the El Paso convention 2 weeks ago. Thank you, El Paso. We had a wonderful time in El Paso. Wonderful show, wonderful people, wonderful hotel bar. That's how I judge the fan conventions. Was it a good convention, and how was the hotel bar? Hotel bar was stellar, man. And we picked up some wonderful new subscribers at the El Paso convention, and I would like to thank you all now. And here we go, going down the list. First of all, I'll have a little sip of this, which it's not bad, but it does taste like a White Russian with bourbon. You could probably, again, I mess around with these. One of these days, we do know some, obviously, we're good friends with some bartenders here in the 505. I think we might have some of them come in here and actually guest. But all right, so thank you to our new subs from the El Paso Comic-Con. Thank you, Caspian Nova. Thank you, Shadow Titan. Thank you, Alyssa Rondomi. Thank you, Kusmane. Thank you, The Prophet Songbird. Thank you, Angry Panda. Thank you, 420 Gamer. We get along. Thank you, Nuclear Tree and Carlos G and Esteban J and Atlas and Joey B. Corrupt 7K and Connor Chance. This is like, it almost seems like it's a rap, man. It could almost be, Sciontistics? I think, yeah, that. And, that's it. Renegade 7, Fun Dork, Ariziel, Demon Gunslinger, and Carsap. I think that's it. Carsap or Carsop? Carsop. That was a lot. All right, that's all of our. Thank you guys all so much. We love getting subs. And if I should come to a city near you, then please come up to our booth. And the thing is, we have new subs from tonight, do we? Waiting to see. 4 hub. Well, thank you very much. Surprising. Woohoo! All right. Lauren times 3 months. Thank you, Lauren times 3 months. And we have Fire Feathers. Thank you, Fire Feathers. And that is Fire Feathers 13, 3 months. 3 months. Thank you, 3 whole months, man. And we have Tooth for 3 months. I recognize all those names. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, you guys. Boy, between the hit and the mother's, Mama said there be days like this. Oh, and we have the Bad Opti. Ooh, I like the Bad Opti. The Bad Optician. Oh, I need a good optician. I've been wearing glasses since I was a little kid. Anyway, and we have even more. Low hanging fruit. You will come. Thank you, low hanging fruit.
And someone else, Joseph.
And so you guys are the best, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. It means it does.
One more.
And we have DBZ Fan 500. Thank you. DBC Fan 500. You get a song. I should give you all songs. I'm sorry. Now you're all. Yeah.
It's on Prime.
Oh, okay. The Prime thing. Yeah. My friend Matt was here. You hear his for Matt. Come on, show your face, man. Come around. All right. Come on, let's see you. There you are. This is Matt. Matt, everybody. So Matt, what were you telling? Matt said that. What are you telling me about Amazon Prime?
Yeah, so if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you are given a Prime sub to use every month to sub to one channel on Twitch of your choice for free. And, of course, you could use that on
Uncle G's Tea House. I'm just saying, if you wanted to do that, Prime subs are free. And using the Bezos product for good in the world and not evil. Although that's a complicated subject because it's great getting things the next day, but it's also not great. That is a topic for another show. This is the Mother's Day show. Trust me, I'm going to get maudlin and sentimental enough right now. Don't want to go into any dark stuff right now. 3 tries would like to hear your name in song, because that could not be wrong. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am a graduate of the University of Houston School of Theater.
Did you finish your
Degree? No, that's another question.
New York? You're were talking about Jellicle Ball. And
I talked about Jellicle Ball. I talked about New York. I talked about some of the meals. There was if you like seafood, oh my gosh, there was a restaurant in the Village called Dame. And it was really just wonderful, But the thing about New York, I also just enjoy a dirty dog on the street. I always have. I like New York. You got to have a slice. You got to have a bagel. We got to go to Sardi's for the first time, which was kind of cool. I'd never been there. And Sardi's, if you don't know, is a very old, very iconic bar where in the old days, you would have found Cole Porter and George Gershwin and Oscar Hammerstein and Richard Rodgers all hanging out. An intrusive question to request a cameo commission from me, and you want to an estimate of when I'll be free again. Well, you know what, Lauren, could you possibly make that happen for us? Maybe you could, because I'm currently not. The reason I'm not on Cameo right now is simply because I'm in the height of fan convention, season, which means that on most days I get home late Sunday night if the travel gods have smiled upon me, and I leave again Thursday morning. This week it's Friday, so I get an extra day. And so while I'm here, we do the show on Tuesday. So it's like, and my cameos are not what everybody's cameos are. My approach to cameos has always been, frankly, although Greg Baldwin himself is endlessly fascinating and wonderfully entertaining, when it comes to cameos, you guys want to hear from Uncle Iroh. You want to hear from the voice of your childhood. And so rather than me just with my camera going, hey, I'm here about to get on an airplane. Hi, happy birthday from me, Greg Baldwin. Everything is actually very scripted. I have many scripts, and I write an original script for everyone because I'm an old man and my improv skills have never been great, And it's also very much it's in my little recording booth, so it's a very controlled environment, and I prefer to do it that way. And I think we have a new sub tonight, Miyashi, 1997. 1997 was a very good for 6 months in advance. All right, Miyashi, 1997, we're in heaven, and we want to thank you for subscribing tonight. Hey, man, all right. Oh, we have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Molly. Molly is in the building. Say hello to Molly. There's Molly. That's also the thing when we went to New York. It was fun being in New York, but Melissa and I were both, we miss our babies, And we were with our children, which was great. It was great being with our grown children. But man, dogs, they do sort of, they sort of become you, especially as you get, they do become your children. They become part of your family. My improv skills are not great, Skis, and I've worked with people who could do it well, and I've said this on the show before. The most amazing improvisational comedy guy. I don't know, improviser Jeff Glenn Bennett. Mother's milk is going a little. Jeff Glenn Bennett, the voice of Johnny Bravo, Dexter's father, and a gazillion other roles. He has always amazed me. I can be funny if I have a little bit of time to think about it. My mind moves a little slower. Probably maybe because of the alcohol and the drugs, but that's another conversation. Anyway, hello, Molly. Come here and say daddy. Molly, come and say daddy. There she is. There's my. Oh, Molly. Oh, you're going to get it. Oh, you want to fight? You want to fight me? You want to fight me? No, she's lazy. Molly is half pit. And, pits get such a terrible reputation, and they are the sweetest, most loving, loyal dogs. I mean, can I do that right? I heart this dog. I heart these dogs. I heart Molly and Callie. So I have no idea what I was talking about before Molly came in, and suddenly I went off on a tangent.
I think that you were talking about improvisation.
Oh, improvisation. So improvisation. Improv is hard. For some people, it's very good. For some people, it comes easy. I just require a little. Oh, a pit bull named Odin. That is a good name for a pit. And speaking of Odin, I've also mentioned this before on the channel. I honestly, maybe because I actually do. I say Odin because I do know how to read runes. I can read your runes. Maybe I should take those to the fan convention table. People would kind of like to have, I think, maybe their runes read by Uncle, the second voice of Uncle Iroh. Put a pin in that. I've also wondered. I found this the other day. I know you guys are watching this channel going, oh my gosh, who is that 65-year-old man with that fabulous full mane, that wonderful head of the hair? And the fact of the matter is, it is indeed it's a wig. So I found an old one the other day, and I said, people are strange. Would anyone, maybe I should take that used toupee and take it to the con. What would you pay for Greg Baldwin's used toupee? Autographed, of course, I mean, if you take that, it comes with a free selfie and free print. It comes with all. If you take that, yeah, man. Anyway, all right. I know that I have a friend who was constantly wanting to hear me do the voice of Master Splinter, which was essentially the voice as it was with Uncle Iroh and also with Samurai Jack, the voice of Mako Iwamatsu. And coming up in July, this will be a sentimental show, but all my nieces and nephews, coming up on July 21st this year, and it is happily on a Tuesday, we will dedicate an entire show to the life of Mako Iwamatsu and the effect that his life has had on mine. And a very fun fact. This is not a fun fact at all, but it is a fact nevertheless. Mako died on 20 years ago this year. July 21st, 2006 is when he passed away. And I remember it because my son and I were on the way to the San Diego Comic-Con, not to appear at the San Diego Comic-Con. This was years away from that. We were just going to the San Diego Comic-Con because we always loved doing it. So he died on July 21st, 2006. And exactly one decade later, on July 21st, 2016, my dear big brother Dale died. So that will be a very sentimental show for me because it involves these two mentors in my life. Mentor in a very real way because Dale was my big brother and he used to take up for me. I was a theater kid and he was a jock. Trust me, he was a great combination. I think he was a big guy. I think he was a fullback. He was a guard. I forget what he was when he played football. I never played football. So to have these two mentors, Mako, whom I never met, and yet has become this monumental influence in my life. I find it very strange and also very magical and kind of wondrous in many ways that when you read Mako's wiki page, I am the very last two words in the last time I looked, the last two words in his wiki article are his work was carried on by voice actor Greg Baldwin, who did a voice match, I think that's kind of cool. And yes, I did meet Mako's daughter, and I did meet his grandson. I've told the story before. I'll tell you, a lot of you guys have heard it before. Certainly, if you come to a fan convention, I've told it in many, many panels.
And also, if you're a regular listener,
you've heard me talk about it. But the thing is, they came. Mako's daughter and grandson, named Mako, came to one of the final recording sessions of Samurai Jack, and bottom line, I didn't know they were gonna be there, so I was very, very freaked out. And bottom line is that they came up to me. His daughter came up to me afterwards and said, "Thank you so much." It was like he was in the room with us again. And as we talk tonight about mothers, parents, that means a lot to me, because I have received so many gifts. My family has received immeasurable gifts from Mako Iwamatsu and the fact that he lived and he existed. So it felt good to know that I could give this family just for a little while, you know. When she said it was like he was in the room with us again, I always thought about, man, what I would not give to hear my own father's voice, even an imperfect impression, which is what I do. It is imperfect, absolutely. But I'd love to hear somebody do an impression of Roy Baldwin again. You know, even if it wasn't right, I would love to hear it again. In fact, I'd pay a lot of money for that, to be honest with you. So, of all the things I've done in my life, and I've done a lot of fun things in my life, I have been blessed to have a wonderful professional life, and more even than that, I've had a wonderful family life, but a wonderful wife, and I've had wonderful children. I've had wonderful parents. And I've said this before, I'm going to get hit by a bus one of these days. But here's the thing, my nieces and nephews. The bus comes for us all eventually. The thing to do is what you do while you're waiting for the bus to hit you. That was kind of profound, I think, in a way. You know, that's wonderful. You have the last message before I would listen. Oh my God, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. I wish that my parents, even the age of Facebook, they didn't. At that point, it existed, but my parents were getting on in years and they did not understand it. So my dad dabbled in it a little bit and then he got sick. It would have been nice. And I will say one of the things that I do like, there aren't many things about 2026 that are wonderful and the gadgets that rule our life, but specifically the phone. But last week I got to be with my wife and my daughter and my son and my son-in-law, and we were all together, and that was wonderful. The thing that phones do is we actually kind of always feel like we're together anyway, because we're always texting. We always know where everybody is. I mean, literally, you can literally track other people on your phone and find out where they are. Oh, Cooper, what are you doing in Jersey tonight? So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And I see that, your grandfather was an engineer, and and you're an engineer too. See, that is a wonderful thing. I understand that yearning that your parents could have seen something really cool happen. But you know what I would say to you, Skeezen? I think that your grandfather sees it anyway, actually. I think he probably already knows. I don't know. Theologically, I don't know what you believe. I don't know honestly, in all my life, I remain a Presbyterian deacon, because once you're ordained, you're always ordained. The only thing I can say theologically or metaphysically about life at this point, towards the Act 3, I have no idea what comes next after this. I have no idea, but I believe with all my heart something does. Whatever this is, there's something behind it. I think there's more going on than meets the eye. And I absolutely think that our loved ones, I hope it's not just a human hoping, but I like to think that they see us even now, And DBZ fan, I hear that a lot, and you feel connected to Iro. And that is such a wonderful gift to me as the second voice of Uncle Iroh, to know that this character was, and it really makes people think. I've said this before, and I've thought about it quite a lot. Why is Iroh universally beloved? I have been all over North America. I've been to Canada, and I've been to Alabama. I've been to Florida, and I've been to California. I've been to Colorado, and I've been to Mississippi. Everybody loves Uncle Iroh. And I've thought about that. Why? What is it that makes this character so universally beloved? And we're universal in these days. We're not universal about nothing. And I think it's this. And obviously, I'll talk about this more on our Father's Day show. This is our Mother's Day show. But it kind of works for that as well, in a different sort of character. Iroh, I think, reminds us of couple of things. We are not ambivalent about our parents. We can be many things about our parents, but we are not ambivalent about our parents. Iroh reminds us of the father that we were lucky enough to have, or the father that we desperately longed for, or the father that we hope to be. And I will die on that hill. I think that is why everyone loves Uncle Iroh. I have never run across anyone in all my journeys where someone said, I hate that guy. Oh, that, Jesus Christ, that character, Uncle Iroh. What an asshole that guy is. I don't, no, I've never heard that. And I don't know what my reaction would be if I did, you know. I mean, you know, hey, I mean, yeah, I can totally, you know what, if it's, Greg Baldwin, what an asshole that guy is. Okay, you know what? We can maybe beg to disagree, but maybe you have some points there. But Uncle Iroh, absolutely not. Uncle Iroh is a next level character. And I would even venture to say he is one of the best male role models in all of fiction. I do not say that lightly. Not just animated television, not movies, not literature. I truly believe it is one of the best father figures and male figures, male role model in all of fiction. And Zuko, I see Firefeathers, you mentioned Zuko. Zuko had the best redemption arc of any character, with the possible exception of Ebenezer Scrooge. I say that a lot too, because I freaking love A Christmas Carol. We'll be talking about that more. And I love Christmas so much. So we're coming up, you know, when Christmas comes, we're going to have a lovely time. But I digress. We are talking about Iroh. And yes, Tooth, I aspire to be more like Iroh every day. And it has been a wonderful gift in my life that I get to live adjacent to this character who actually has helped me become a far better human myself. Just having Iroh's quotes memorized in your mind, you know, it honestly, I can say this categorically and without embarrassment. I am a far better human being because I am the second voice of Uncle Iroh, without a doubt. And you know, and I get to do this, and I got to be honest with you guys. You know what? When I started out doing this show, frankly, I was a little bit nervous. I didn't really know what this was going to be. I'm not very good at video games. I'm learning how to do the chatting, which honestly, all right, I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. I'm going to spill the tea here. You know, it's fun playing BioShock. I'm learning to play BioShock. But what I like best about this show, I like sitting here and talking to you guys as if, you know, as if, and it's weird because of what I try to do is think about, okay, what if you were coming to my table at a fan convention? What would I say? So trying to actually, you felt Uncle Iroh through my hug. Oh, well, I thank you. Amanda Leia, 1993. This world needs more hugs. And this sad world, you only need to look, you know, as I said in the song, open up your phone. But I think if everyone in the world, if I ruled the world, every day would be the first day of spring, and everybody at noon every day, wherever they are, you turn to the person to your right. Actually, do it on alternate days. On one day it's on the right, one day it's on the left. We gotta be. Yeah, why not?
Equal opportunity.
Yeah, equal opportunity, and you just give them a good, solid, warm hug. And honestly, I think this world needs a warm hug. I think America desperately needs a warm hug, and you know, maybe that. Honestly, I think that's what I am. I mean, honestly, this sounded like a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun for an old dude. It keeps my mind engaged, and I enjoy it. But I think that's a lot of why I do the show now, is because this world needs a warm hug. It needs a safe place that people can come and just talk and drink and laugh and sing and do the things that humans do, using the technology that is both a blessing and a curse. And yeah, I think to use the technology and to use it for a blessing and not a curse. I think in many ways, I think maybe that's the mission statement for the whole Twitch channel. To use social media, to use technology, to use the internet, to use the digital world as a blessing and not as a curse. That being said, AI is going to kill us all anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, we're all doomed. I'm sorry, guys. You guys are younger than me. I am sorry. I am very sorry that you guys are. It's a modeling show tonight. It's a sentimental show, and I've been sort of in a more sentimental frame of mind, writing it and thinking about it and rehearsing it.
It just shows how much you love your mom.
Well, I do love my mom, and you know what? But I don't know, man. If Melissa and I were bringing children, when Melissa and I had our children, we had our children in 1993 and 1994, respectively. And you have to understand, 1993 and 1994 was a great time to be alive because Melissa and I lived our entire lives under the shadow of the Cold War. And that was a big thing. That was a big thing. We lived through the 60s, and the 60s weren't all peace and love. It was also assassinations and bombings and fire in Vietnam. It was a lot of bad stuff. But all right, and now there I go again. I'm talking about something, and I forget about what I'm talking about while I'm talking about it. What was my point? And it was something profound, too.
Well, you're saying it's like a bad show today.
That Matt, give this man a raise. Right. Give him a raise. Your Christmas bonus is going to look great. When we brought Sydney and Cooper into the world, the Cold War had ended. The shadow, this thing that had been threatening us our whole life was over. And it seemed like, America, we won, freedom wins, democracy wins, there's no more USSR, everything is going to be great. And that's the world that we brought our children into, because it really did look like, we were aiming towards a Star Trek future and not a Road Warrior future, if you get my drift. These days, young people, I don't know. I couldn't blame you if you didn't bring children into this world. I honestly, in the world in which we live, you try to be optimistic. And you can find it. You find optimism, though, in little things, like a cocktail, a sunrise. You don't find it in looking at your phone. You find optimism, you find love, you find meaning in Molly, who just came in again. There she is. I don't know if you guys can see her, but there she is. There's my Molly. Molly. Look at this dog. Come up here. Hey, Molly. There she is. There's my Molly. Look at this girl. Oh, that's a good girl. Molly gives very good kisses. Look, who wouldn't love this? Look at that face. Look at that face. Just look at it. Look at that fabulous face of yours. I knew first look I took at it. You've got a face that the world adores. And I would add, both Molly and Callie, our girls, are rescues. If you get the chance to rescue a dog, all dogs should rescue a dog. You want to do something for the world, something to make it feel like you've done some small bit of goodness in a world that seems so dark and horrible. Go to your nearest shelter, your nearest shelter, and rescue a dog, or rescue a cat. I mean, I like cats. Trust me, I like cats too. I didn't grow up with cats. Melissa and I have had some cats over the years. You guys have cats, right? You guys have had cats.
Yeah, I had a cat. I'm a cat person.
I'm their cat, and there's a lot to be said for cats. Are you blind when you're born? Can you see in the dark? All right, I'm not going to do it because jellicles can and jellicles do. Jellicle songs for jellicle cats. Jellicle songs for jellicle cats. What is a jellicle cat? I don't know. Can anyone in the chat, what the hell is a jellicle cat? And who's your favorite cat? And the only possible answer is the magical Mr. Mistopheles. No other answers will be accepted. An interesting thought experiment. What do I think would become of Aku if he was stripped of his power? That is something very interesting. Jellicle cats, fictional, nocturnal breed of felines. I don't know what Aku would do if he became self-aware. Iro has been in, I don't know if Iro's been in Hell's Kitchen, but Greg Baldwin says there's some great restaurants in Hell's Kitchen. I've had a great time. And I see, Captain Rick, you've been getting into voice work post-military. Well, first of all, thank you for your service, sir. Oh, and I'm sorry, you lost your mom passed recently. That's a rough thing. It's fair warning. We're going to be talking about that sort of thing a little bit earlier, so maybe get some Kleenex. But I think with mothers, with people that we have loved, I don't think it's terribly maudlin and sentimental to sometimes let yourself live in it a little bit. You know what? To sometimes let yourself live in the grief a little bit. I think we don't do that enough in this world. And I think that's one reason why the Leaves from the Vine scene is so incredibly impactful to millions of fans, because that is Uncle Iro living in his grief. He's not, and it's oh my God, that episode, because he's just so jolly. He's helping the mugger. He's getting all the stuff. You think he's going to go to this party, and then you know what he's actually doing. And that's what him doing. He's living through the grief. He's accepting the grief. And sometimes it's good to accept the grief. My parents have been gone for a long time now, and I wish I could tell you that it does get better. You don't wake up every morning just emotionally drained, but you never forget, And I think that's when also you realize that you're healing a bit, when you realize that you can remember these people that you love. Now, love, not with a tear, but with a smile. But I'm sorry, Miss Waggledy-Bottom is in the building. And if you're wondering which one Miss Waggledy-Bottom is, I think it would be, ladies and gentlemen, Exhibit A, Miss Waggledy-Bottom. That is Queen Calafia Manelli Waggledy-Bottom of the Espanola Waggledy-Bottoms. Now, Molly there, her full name is the unsinkable Molly Magoo Brown. My very first dog I ever had was named Magoo, after Mr. Magoo. And I did a show called Molly McGee, so I like the Molly Magoo kind of works. Hello. Oh, you're a Canadian, Captain. Well, I do love my Canadians. I almost got kicked out of Canada, but I'm not going to talk about that in a public forum anymore.
Well, you told it on a...
I did tell it in a previous, and I think
if you want to hear that story,
you go back and unless they have actually,
last week, or the episode from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, when I talked about when I almost got kicked out of Canada. Well, you know what? And that was, your mom was great. She got you into how they make movies and TV, et cetera, in the first place. And, and she got to see your first credited role. Now that, my friend, that is a great gift. Do not forget it. We got some time left before we'll move on to the new segment. I would like to, as is my custom, sometimes my brain just goes all over the place. Plus, I did have that little vapey on stage. I've been drinking, but this... I'll drain it. I think for the next segment, we'll move on to just whiskey rocks.
What is it, buddy?
This might. All right, guys. This is and it's separated, so honestly, it's kind of gnarly, to be honest with you. This is not what I expected.
You want the spoon?
No, I'll drink it. I'm the human spit bucket. Melissa calls me the human spit bucket because never leave booze on the table. That's the code of Greg Baldwin, the code of the Irish. This was, I think the ice is, it's settled. It was called not jasmine. It was called Jungle Gardenia, and it was milk, bourbon, vanilla, and little simple syrup. We smoked it a little bit and an orange peel, but I mean that milk seems a little bit, it was shelf-stable milk. It was in one of those little cartons, so, it should be good. But, yeah, a good Sazerac or an old-fashioned? Oh, now, the best drink. The drink, you know what? What's the date on that?
It does say best before November 2025.
Well, that's not that bad. So I think I got a fairly good.
It's like 5 months.
I got a pretty decent chance. We may be doing a reprise of that famous number from our Colonoscopy Eve show. If you're blue and you don't know where to go poo, why don't you go where your butt sits? Poo. putting on a shits. How did I get into voice acting?
Theater major and he's hoping to do a concentration in voice acting.
Well, you are already there. You're already halfway there because you are a theater actor. People will go up to you and say, people say I have a really good voice and I should get into voice acting. Well, that's great. And maybe you do. Lots of people do. But voice act. I know. I mentioned colonoscopy again. Melissa's in there going, damn it, Greg. I told you. Stop with the colonoscopy. It's the new colonoscopy prep. All right, you know what?
Live in the chat. You
You
don't
know
have to acknowledge it.
Fortune favors the bold. I'm gonna shoot this fucker. It's a little. Dare I say it? It's a little extra thick.
Hit the BRB screen.
No. I just thought it is literally extra thick. No, you know what, Mom? I'm sorry. I didn't make you a better drink. Well, we'll flip. Extra thick. You know, honestly, that would be kind of fun to make a drink that Aku would make, huh? Now, as I was saying, though, yes, voice acting mostly is acting. It's not voice. The emphasis is on acting. And the best, I am convinced of this, the best education you could possibly get in acting doesn't come from a class and it doesn't come from a book. It comes from actually being on stage with other actors at night doing the show. There's nothing else like it. There's lots of very specific things. My stomach. No, I'm fine. No, I'm good.
You need to go grab some Tums.
No, I think I'm good. Well, however, though, man, let's rinse this out and just go to straight up Maker's Mark and ice, because that is not a drink that I will be having again. Absolutely not. So you're trying to get well. You know what? And here's the thing. I know you're trying. I know, Dylan, you're trying to get into the business. And here's the thing about getting into the acting. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. I'm not going to gild the lily and tell you guys, oh yeah, voice acting is easy to get into. It's not.
Well, you said that one of the things that helps you or helped you in the past is like doing impressions. And stuff.
Yes, absolutely. If you really, the reason I am here right now is because another record album, which we'll talk about probably in the Mako show. I used to sing along with records, and I loved musicals, so I would learn to do accents and learn to do impressions. So, if it was, I would listen to My Fair Lady to learn how to do a Rex Harrison impression, or The King and I to learn how to do Yul Brynner. A Star Wars inspired drink. As a fellow Iro, I do know there's a couple of Iros I know. There's one gentleman, he's such a delightful man. He dresses as Iro, and he actually has a tea, and he finds a nice little quiet place in the fan convention area and just has tea, because, fan conventions like New York City are a lot, which is the New York City Comic Con is the ultimate, and oh my God, this is a lot. But this guy, I think his name is Paul, I think, he will just sit there, and if you're feeling overwhelmed by the convention, Buddy, and it's Buddy. Buddy is the tea guy. No, Buddy is the tea guy that buys us tea from. We use his tea from Salt Lake City, I think. I have obviously I've run into several different Iros whom I all love, and I love seeing people cosplay Iro. I have, and this is interesting. I have seen. Mostly, I generally will see tea shop Iro cosplayed. Every now and then, you will see, Fire Nation Iro. Paul, you're talking about Paul. You're talking about Paul. Holy shit! Pardon my French. No, do not pardon my shit.
Pardon my shit.
Pardon my shit. Paul Lee is a wonderful man, and I am so happy that I have gotten to know him as a human being. That you could not have found. We've gone out to dinner with him several times, and there's just not a lovelier man in the world. And what I love is love about Paul. I'll come back to the Titanic musical. What I love about Paul as Iroh is he has certainly this gravitas that you need, but Paul has this twinkle in his eye. You know, you can always tell. You know, Paul has a sense of humor. And Paul and I, we were at the Anime Washington several years ago. I think it was the first time I met him. We went out drinking that night. We did not drink tea. And we were talking, I think, in the green room. And we're going, dude, this is going to get very, very confusing for people because nobody's going to know which Iroh signed their Funko Pop, right? You know? So that is why if you see me sign anything, I'm Iroh 2.0 for two reasons. Number one, I need to honor my predecessor, the man that literally invented the role, the man that created the role, the man whose voice I am but a poor impression of. I was hired to mimic Mako's voice. So he will forever be Iroh 1.0. I sign his 2.0. And if you should run across Paul, if you give Paul Lee an Iroh Funko Pop, I guarantee you he will sign it as Iroh 3.0. Getting back to Titanic the musical, just for a minute, have I seen Titanic the musical? In every world there has... What is that? The lyrics. Well, Titanic the musical is wonderful. It's not the film, by the way. There actually is a film version. It's on Broadway, the Broadway channel. I watched it. And the screws are turning at 89. The screws are turning at 89. Autumn, shall we all... All right, I'm singing badly now. I don't have... However, yes, I have seen Titanic the musical, not in reality, but I have seen the staged version of it filmed on the Broadway channel, and I would... Oh, you played Ismay! You played Ismay? Hey, fuck you. Ismay, everyone hates Bruce Ismay. I joke. Ismay is, great character. To sing the trilogy, it was Ismay, the captain, and the architect, what is that song? Oh, I love that song. The Blame. I think it's The Blame. Possibly we won't go down. Possibly we'll stay afloat. Possibly all this will come to an end on a positive note, which I think might actually be Ismay's actual line. I think that's what he sings. Possibly this might... Anyway, all right, I could talk about this so much. I love... Now you've got me back on musicals.
We can talk about it in the second
We'll talk about it in the second segment when we come back, and ostensibly we will play BioShock. But we'll play a little BioShock. I'll get killed, and mainly I'll talk to you guys. In any case, we're moving on to our next segment. We will be back momentarily, my friends.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
You know, if you've watched this show at all, you know that I love Mr. Rogers. I do. I do. In a way, this whole show is an homage to him. That is way better. Uncle G's Tea House is basically Mr. Rogers' neighborhood with a liquor license and a host who drops F-bombs. Fred Rogers urged us to look for the helpers, and that's solid advice. But I also think the helpers are often closer than you might think. In your past, in your bones, in the things that shaped you long before you even knew you were being shaped. Now, my mother gave me a gift just like that. Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away, called the oh-so-groovy late 60s, baby, she went out on a date with my father. And they went to see the filmed adaptation of Lerner and Loewe's Camelot. Now, Camelot is a flawed stage musical and it's a flawed movie, but sometimes flaws make something unforgettable. My mother adored it. It was
Guarantee with a
romantic,
fascinating
sentimental,
stranger.
theatrical, just like her. And she sent my dad out to buy her the soundtrack album.
Guarantee
Eventually,
with a
that
fascinating
album
stranger.
ended up in my grubby little hands. And
Guarantee with a fascinating
I
stranger.
I listened and something just clicked. I
Guarantee
didn't
with a
really know what it
fascinating.
was. I didn't have language for it yet, but I knew it mattered. It mattered. This magical world where people spontaneously broke into song because words alone were no longer enough to convey the emotion behind them. Camelot was my gateway drug. Now, years later, I played King Arthur in Spring High School's seminal 1977 production. I remember being on stage, crepe hair glued securely to my chin. And this was back when I had only one chin. I snorted, standing there, trying to be a king, trying to understand what it means to carry something bigger than yourself. And I found my mother's face in the audience. My first fan. I don't think we talk enough about what that does to a kid, you know? To have somebody look at you and not just accept who you are, but recognize who you might become. It can convince a pudgy, geeky teenager in Texas that he can pull off a British accent, which I did flawlessly. Of course I did. Without my mother's love and support, without her vinyl record album, without this vinyl record album, I might have never chased this ridiculous and beautiful career that I've had. I might never have found myself in a recording booth many years later striving to honor a character that means so much to millions of people around the world. Now, my mother did not get to see me step into Iroh's shoes. And sometimes I think about that. Makes me sad. But a little sadness, oh, my nieces and nephews, that is just the price of admission to this weird, interactive spectacle we call life. There's a famous line from Camelot. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. In which case, you're about to, you young whippersnappers, so listen up. Don't let it be forgot that once there was a spot, or one brief, shining moment. And that's what all of this is, right? Am I right? Moments. Brief, shining moments. Some last longer than others. Some vanish in a millisecond. Some involve thunderous applause and standing ovations, but none of them ever really vanish. They echo. They ripple. When we talk about looking for the light, maybe it's not about scanning the horizon, you know, maybe it's about turning around and recognizing what's right behind you. Maybe it's something that was given to you a long time ago when a kind voice said 4 mighty words without needing to even say them out loud because you already knew it. I believe in you. There's a moment at the end of Camelot. His kingdom fractured, his lofty ideals all but shattered. Arthur knights a young boy, and he orders him to flee from the coming battle. He charges him to grow up, to grow old, and to tell the story. Now, somebody is understandably slightly curious about the identity of this random urchin the king has just spontaneously knighted. And Arthur replies, one of what we all are. Less than a drop in the great blue motion of the sunlit sea. But it seems some of the drops sparkle. Some of them do sparkle. My mother sparkled. How she did sparkle. Now, I love musicals. Duh. I love Christmas. I love my mother. And this song gets peanut butter in my chocolate. That, by the way, is a boomer reference. Google it, youngsters. Anyway, there is a quietly profound moment in A Christmas Story, the musical. Not the leg lamp, not the BB gun. No, something much quieter. Little kid hides under the sink, convinced the world is ending. Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie. And his mother comes in, calm as Sunday morning, and she says, no, he's not. I promise. Daddy is not gonna kill anyone. And then a simple but a mighty offering. Want some milk? When you're a kid, milk fixes things. You know, milk and a voice that sounds like safety. Hi, can I come in? What's the matter? What you crying for? Well, Ma, I got old. I miss you. I miss Dad. I miss Dale, my brother. Gregory Dean Baldwin. You know nothing is ever as bad as it seems. It never is. It never is. Catch your breath and look around. There's no monster waiting by. Nothing's crumbling to the ground. Nothing's tumbling from the sky. Notice how the world keeps turning. Life goes on. A moment comes, a moment goes. And just like that, the moment's gone. If you slip and scrape your knee, think it's never gonna heal. In a day or two you'll see, it's just not that big a deal. and you're back to jumping, laughing. You've moved on. A moment comes, a moment goes, and just like that, the moment's gone. So you felt like bursting somewhere deep, deep inside, and it overwhelmed you. So you cracked, so you cried, but it passes in an instant. Passes by so fast. Don't forget to remember these moments never last. Notice how the world keeps turning. You've moved on. A moment comes, a moment goes, and just like that, the moment's gone. Ah, fuck it. Let's kill some splicers. I have the wrench. I have the wrench, and you know what that means, guys. We've been getting all sentimental and shit, but you know what? Why, I thank you. Anonymous gifted X5 subs, new subs, anonymous. That's great, man. I say the dogs are back in here now, and now I have a decent cocktail, so now I might be ready to go and kill me some splicers, guys. Hope I'm not getting everybody to, sometimes, I like, it's fun to cry. I enjoy crying. I like to give yourself over to the sentimentality sometimes in a very unsentimental world. Late 420, how am I? Well, since 420 is in your nom de plume, I'm doing pretty good. Oh, I'm the terrible man. I'm a terrible role model. I'm sorry. Do not listen to me at all. Oh, that was a good hit, too. This should be a good gameplay. All right, we are now, ladies and gentlemen, in the gameplay section of the show. We're going to be playing a little BioShock. I have gotten much better at the game. If you guys are just tuning in, if this is your first time that you've ever seen the show, I'm still not a very good, I'm still not very good at it, but I'm better than I used to be. So, you didn't. Salty, what was your Aku question, my friend? Ask it again, and I will absolutely give it my complete attention.
He had asked if Aku was stripped of all of his powers and he was in human form, something like that.
It's interesting. I think if Ozai was stripped of his power, and I think in some ways that probably would have made Ozai a better human being? Because to have been, the most powerful man on earth, and now you're not even remotely powerful. Aku, stripped of his powers, is another thing entirely, because Aku was never mortal. I forget the actual mythology of it all. But hello, and I thank you, Rarling 73, 11-hour ship. God bless you for that, man.
He's like a malevolent space entity.
Good. Yeah, exactly. He's a malevolent space entity. I don't know. Stripping of him of his power, I don't know what that would do to him, because I don't know how Aku processes reality or processes thoughts, because Aku is so far. He's basically an evil god. He's so far beyond any of us. So, I don't know. A kind Aku. I don't know, or at least a self-aware Aku. I don't know. That would be an interesting. Maybe Gendy. I'd like to see that show. All right. This is something, you guys. It's something I have talked about, and it's something I would like to do, actually, for the streaming channel. And because my son is a very talented composer, if you're listening, Cooper, I like the idea of an Aku carol at Christmas time. Just a series, and obviously it would be a musical, a series of, songs, basically songs and scenes, mirroring a Christmas carol. But I would play all the characters. I mean, maybe the Scotsman, obviously the Scotsman would be in it. I don't know, maybe Samurai Jack would be Bob Cratchit. I don't know how you would actually do it. But I do like the idea of Aku changing. But I don't know if Aku could ever truly change. I mean, again, because, we can't layer. Aku is not Ebenezer Scrooge or Zuko or Ozai. Aku is his own thing, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how that would play out in Aku's transformation. It would be interesting. But, I honestly, strip Aku of power, I think, would simply destroy him. Period. I think, boom. Christmas in Killarney, the holly green, the ivy green, the prettiest faces I've ever seen. It's Christmas in Killarney without a... Guys, you are going to so hate me at Christmas time. You are going to hate this show. Oh, and by the way, the Christmas episodes will begin in September. Seriously, it made mine very well. I freaking love Christmas. And... I'm actually circling back to the maudlin element of the show tonight. I think, and again, I've loved Christmas since I was a kid. I'm one of those guys that certainly when I was a child, I would cry because, it was Christmas Day and there's so much joy and it's so wonderful. But oh my God, it's 5:00 on Christmas night. It's going to be over soon. It's almost over. I would cry that it was going to be over while it was still happening. Which says a lot about me and, my odd little idiosyncrasies. And even today, I sort of feel that, but it hit me. I think we were driving down back to LA from Cambria, my brother-in-law's place at the time. And it was in the car, and we had a delightful Christmas, all of us. We'd had a lovely time. And I remember thinking, you think that Christmases are, you have an infinite number of Christmases. I mean, we know we have a limited number of years, but I never made the connection between years and Christmas. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I don't have that many Christmases left. And now I'm 65, 10, 15, 20 Christmases would be fantastic. I'd take them. But yeah, you guys, I freaking love Christmas. Once we get to and I also love Halloween. Got to give Halloween. It's stupid. Frighteningly, the reason I love Halloween?
What?
Because it means Christmas is coming. So, I don't think if that makes me a true Halloween devotee. Hello, Damas Green. Hello. I would say, though, if you are a Halloween aficionado, we lived in Burbank, California, and because there were so many... animators and people, Imagineers that work for Disney that lived in Burbank. Oh my God, the Halloween, Burbank doesn't go in for Christmas, but my God, the Halloween displays are unlike anything. Words cannot even describe what Halloween is like we need to set the timer. Yeah, we'll cut about 10 minutes off of that, I think, right? You think of 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Anyway, if you ever get a chance, go to Burbank, California at Halloween, and you will see what I am talking about. I have seen things. I literally don't know how they did it. Last year we were up there. There was a circus house, and this wasn't just a circus, an evil clown house, rather. They had gone into the alley, and the alley was like a midway with evil clowns everywhere. This, and I'm pretty jaded, but I got to tell you, this shit was awesome. All right. I guess, though, I'm going to have another drink because, I like playing the games, but I really like doing this. But I guess what I should probably do is actually play the game, and we'll give a little structure to all of this. So here we go, mi bios. Here we go, my nieces and nephews. All right, this is where I was some 2 weeks ago. I'm at Langford Labs.
All right. Do you remember it all?
Oh, good heavens, no.
Okay.
I've been to New York since then, man. I don't know.
So, brief recap. You came to this location. There was a lady who died to gas, and you opened up her safe and it said, you have to collect some stuff to counteract the gas.
I have to collect some stuff to counteract the greenish gas. All right.
Yes.
All right.
So, now you are collecting materials to create an agent.
And I should probably then get out of here.
Yes. Go back.
Go back the other way?
Back the other way.
Oh, somebody's shooting at me. Ah, motherfucker.
Nobody's shooting at you.
I'm feeling it, though. I'm feeling it in the joystick.
It's a big daddy stomping around.
Oh, I didn't know they did that. Here. Something's definitely shooting. Use first aid. Something is definitely shooting at me. All right, here we go. I'm going down here. Get out of here, baby. Ooh, yeah, I could use that.
You don't have any more. Or you have too many.
I've been there. I think I was there before. I really do miss the arrow. The arrow is very, very, very helpful.
Can I get you out of here?
Halifax. If I'm ever in Halifax, I'll go. I'd love to go to Canada. I really want to go to. In Canada, there was a show I watched called. First of all, there's Come From Away, which is a wonderful, wonderful musical, and I love musical. Come From Away is right? Isn't that wonderful? I would be great as the mayor, wouldn't I? I agree. If any producers are doing a touring company, Come From Away, I should totally play the mayor. But there was also, I got into a sitcom called Son of a Stritch. Son of a Stritch? Son of a Fitch? I forget what it was, but it was just absolutely beautiful. And it was set also in Nova Scotia. No, not Nova Scotia. Oh, my God. Newfoundland. What's wrong with me? Newfoundland. You know what? How about, you know what? Just for fun. Where's my, oh, okay. Just for fun. Where's my wrench? There we go. Like that. Ow, that looked good. Use first tape. Boom. Use first tape. Boom. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so I should probably do something else. Where's my, where's my, I'm running away. I'm just fucking running away. I'm getting out of here. Goodbye. Well, it won't be tea, I guarantee you that. All right. Bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. How do I look? Do I look peaceful? Do I look almost alive? All right, enough of that.
Son of a crit.
Son of a critch. Thank you, Lauren. Son of a critch. Oh my gosh, I love that, and I haven't been able to watch because the last season is not available on America's streaming, so I've only been able to watch. Oh my God, Malcolm McDowell is in it. Plays the grandfather. He is wonderful, and it has those wonderful Newfoundland accents, which I can't really approximate. I probably could if I actually put some thought into it, but they're almost like Irish accents, but not quite. You know what I mean? Have I been here?
Yes.
That looks interesting. There's something glowing down there. Oh. I stepped on it. There was a mine, and I stepped on it. All right, man. Give me. Come on. I need it, baby. Come on. Give me some. I'll pick up napalm.
The direction.
Yeah.
Let me just get you out of here.
All right.
Last time you played,
now-
you struggled with this area as well.
Now Matt is playing the game. I'm great. I'm actually playing the game psychically, while I'm talking to you guys as well.
Let me just see if I can get the arrow to it.
The arrow for me is incredibly helpful.
There's the arrow.
Oh, you get me the arrow. Now, with the arrow, I at least know where I'm going. You know, I know what I should do. Like, for example, I haven't killed anybody tonight, and it looks like it's gonna be you. It was you, wasn't it? Sucks to be you, Splicer.
It had to be you.
It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and wanted to pound my wrench right through your splicer skull. 'Cause life is so dull. Right then. Hey, that wasn't bad, actually. All right. Arrow this way. Or even be found thinking of you. I think I just killed you. Killed you. All right, here we go. Up to Waterfall Grotto Farmers Market. I don't recall the Farmers Market. Anything worth stealing here?
No. This is also going to be a lot of backtracking. So you're going to see a lot of areas you've seen before. Maybe a little confusing.
You know, for me, life is confusing, you know. Less confusing than it used to be. As a young man, when you're young, it's very freaking confusing. And I wish I could say you everything becomes clear in your old age, but it does not. All right, going this way. I'm guessing they're going to want me to go in here into the tree farm. Oh, have I been here?
I don't think so.
This seems very, very new. All right, anything? There's bound to be shit I need. Oxygen? Sure, we need oxygen. It keeps us alive. It is always so much fun beating people to death. Oh, motherfucker. Is it one of those things? Oh, it's not one of those things I hate. It is. Did I get it? I think I got it. Now,
There's another guy still shooting.
oh, if you guys had seen me play this game at the beginning, I would never have been able to pull that out. Come on, buddy. You want a piece of me? You want some of this? Come and get it. Come and get it, you bastard. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba, ba, ba. There we go. My first gun kill of the evening. Yeah, I had a feeling that seemed kind of like, oh, hello. You got all first aid kids are good. Oh, this.
You might need to heal as well. You're kind of low.
I truly haven't been here. Oh. Got you, baby. You like that? Ah, how much you like that, huh? It is fun. In these hard times in which we find ourselves, it's great. It's great to be able to, and I'm, a Houdini slicer. It sort of takes a load off. All the stresses that you feel when you open up your phone in the morning. And sometimes you open up your phone in the morning and, oh my God, I just want to throttle someone, hit them with a wrench. I could use some pep. We can all use some pep. My pep is pooped. All right, here we go. Coming down the street.
His eye on
Gonna kill all the spicers and big daddies we meet. Yes, I am. I am indeed hearing the game sound in my am. I am. Thank you, Jake. I can hear it. The wrench, the wrench, the wrench. All right, I don't know what that was.
It's a flashback. The good old days, living on the farm.
It seems like this is glowing.
Yeah, that's where you got to go.
So yeah, it seems like that. If it's glowing, you know, it seems like a. Oh, I gotta tell you guys. All right, all right, I gotta tell you this. Who wants to hear a spooky ghost story?
I can't pause yet. You got to wait for it to get out of this.
Oh, all right. All right, I'll tell you guys the spooky ghost story in a minute. It's a spooky. Now I can tell you the spooky ghost story? All right, our good friend and our contractor, Steve, whom I eventually am going to interview on the show because Steve literally built this bar. He built this space when we bought this place in Albuquerque 6 years ago. It was not what it is. We've been tinkering with it and doing really cool things with it. And Steve, right now, he comes to town. He's a friend from LA. He comes into town periodically to, you know, build new awesome things. And we've been working on our backyard. And when he comes here, he stays downstairs there's an entire apartment below where my wife and I live, in the house up at top. And it's an old house. It was built, I believe, in the early 40s. And yeah, Steve is the man. Steve hung these microphones, these lights, everything. Steve, if you're watching, and I think he might be, actually, he's going to be in the bar later. I'm going to make him a daiquiri because he likes daiquiri. He's a lightweight, you know. I forgive him for that because he's awesome. I'll forgive him for that. Anyway, he stays downstairs in the basement apartment, which is a really cool space. It looks lovely. It's very, very, but he told my wife this yesterday. He had gone there, and my wife and I, Melissa and I, were in New York. We were not even here. Correct? Now I have to get into my spooky voice, my late night. This is the voice where, you know, when you're going to sleep at night and you want someone to tell you something scary, this would be the good voice to use for that. And memo to me, maybe start a channel doing just that. But I digress. Steve told my wife he had gone to take a shower. And months ago, he had some packets of vitamins that were in his, toiletry kit or whatever. It was in his toiletry kit. It was not on him. And he gets into the shower, and he'd taken showers there before. And no one's here but Steve. Mind you, Steve and Molly and Kelly. And one of these packets of vitamins is stacked neatly in the corner of the shower. What does that mean? I don't know. I will tell you this. I have never personally seen anything that would categorically make me state, oh, that's weird. That's something I cannot possibly explain. There's more to life than meets the eye. I've never seen that, but that is very, very weird. And it is an old house. And on a couple of occasions, I've been in the house, and I don't know, particularly, I've always felt it was in the kitchen. Not a ghost, not anything flying around, not anything like a vitamin packet I hadn't seen in years for odd reason stuck in the shower, but a presence, something that I sort of felt. And sometimes, and I think, again, I don't know if I'm right. I think time and reality is sort of weird, and I sometimes think there are rifts in it. And I think sometimes time is like a movie, and it's not like you're necessarily seeing a ghost, but you're seeing like a film. You're seeing a replay of something that happened before in this place. Now, I don't know if I'm right. Lauren, no, hey, Lauren, you and Jake have stayed down there. Tell me, now Lauren's like, never again. I love going downstairs. Sometimes I go down there to watch TV. It's a very, very, if there is anything in this house, it is a friendly, lovely spirit. For many years, this house it was clearly the people that built this house meant they had carved the date into the driveway. On several places, we found the date when the things was built. So whoever built this house was proud of it, and they should have been, because architecturally, this house is a wonder. I won't tell you exactly where it is, but it is. This house is pretty freaking cool. It's a mid-century wonder, but it had fallen into disrepair, and mostly it had just been, renters all these years. And I think if there are, and I do feel this, if there are presences in this house, and I think there are always presences in any house you live in. There's so many memories and things, especially for someplace as old as this. I think they are really happy that we have looked at this house and saw what a beautiful gem it could be. And it's been fun renovating it. I don't know. Maybe there is a ghost in the basement. Who knows? If there is, cool. Because I've always thought, and here's the thing: I have never seen anything that I could not explain. But I wouldn't mind seeing something I couldn't explain.
Well, you were just telling me about how you thought you lost that Camelot record.
Oh, all right. Now this story is weird. It has actually two components to it. As I was working on this show, I obviously was thinking about my mother a lot. And I was on the verge of sleep one night, like you do. And I was, because I had been heavily thinking about Radine and thinking about mothers and my mother. And I remember saying, "Oh, Mom, man, I wish I could just, hear from you again. I wish I could just, the weird thing about getting older is when you're younger, there's always somebody else to comfort you and tell you everything's going to be okay. But as you get to be older, those people are gone. So I kind of just I was listening to music. I had it on shuffle, a playlist. I said, "Mom, man, I would so much like to hear from you again. I'd like to know that you're watching and hearing." And I swear to God, I didn't even know this song fucking existed. And it came on, and I even forget, it was Meryl Streep. I forget what it was from. It was a song it was from a mother. I think it was called Murders. I think it was from Murders in the Building with Meryl Streep. And the song at the end of it, and I was devastated. The song is called "Look for the Light." And to make, it was a beautiful song. I wish I had heard it before, because it would have worked great. In the future, we may use it again, because the song is literally "Look for the Light," but it's from a mother to a child, and it's like, "Oh, Mom." And I think, in a weird way, I think maybe she heard me today. I was, wandering around, getting ready for the show, and I do have. One of my favorite possessions is I have a 1965 Motorola stereo console, completely rebuilt. I don't like cars, but this is my luxury item. This is my thing that I love. It's completely rebuilt, and if you've never heard a record album played on the system it was built for, baby, you got to hear that. But I was looking through all my old records, and I've kept most of my old records, and I knew that the Camelot record that I talked about earlier had been lost to time. And what I did have, though, was my Aunt Lou. I had her Camelot record, which was roughly from the same era. For years, I thought it was my mom's Camelot album, but then I saw that my aunt had signed her name on it. So it was very faint, but it's like, oh, that's not Mom's, that's Lou's. And I was writing it and thinking about it because it was a very important, seminal moment in my life. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to use Aunt Lou's Camelot album, because it's old enough and it's still sort of the truth. It's not the actual album. But so I was looking through this record bin, and I knew that, and I swear to God, I'd never found this before. I always assumed that was the only, and suddenly there it was. I knew that because Aunt Lou's album did not have the record anymore. It was just a record album. And oh my God, this is it. This is the one. I recognized that the album was in it. My aunt had not signed it, and it was like, oh my God, how could I have not seen this all these years and thought that this other one was the Camelot album? And I do like to think that, who knows? As they say in Hamlet, there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy, Horatio. So, Mom, if you were, reaching out to me twice, that's a good thing. Mom, we'll talk about that later. Mom never had a proper funeral. We had family got together and we shared memories of her, and we scattered her ashes with my father's in a lake here in New Mexico. But she never had a proper eulogy, not even in the newspaper. So this is sort of my way of saying, this is my mother. She lived. I want you to know about her. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that means something. Maybe she's up there going, you know what? Thank you, Gregory Dean. Yeah. Thank you, Ray Dean. And thank you, Roy, too. And thank you, Nadine. And thank you, Malloy. And thank you, Sydney. And thank you, Maddie. And thank you, lots and lots of other people. But we're supposed to be playing Rapture, Killing Splicers. And here I am, waxing philosophical. However, yes, I do think Raring 73, I think homes do have residual energies. I don't know if it's ghosts necessarily or it's just, time replaying on a loop. You're seeing, obviously we'll talk about this stuff more in October. Now, one thing that did happen to me, this was weird. It's not a ghost story per se. It's more a time rift sort of a story. This was many years ago, maybe 10 years ago, if that, I don't know. We were living in Burbank, and Melissa and I, we had an outside bar in Burbank, much like this one, but not nearly as nice, and with fewer lights and things. You're curious how Lost Boys was? All right. First of all, Hadestown is fantastic. Love Hadestown. Hadestown makes me cry. Lost Boys, the first act, see it just for the first act, if nothing else. The second act, my biggest problem with Lost Boys is the first act is so magnificent. The special effects are so cool, and the van you believe it, you buy it, and also the '80s music, and it just works. The staging works. The stage itself becomes a character. However. The second act, my biggest quibble is the final battle between the kids and the vampires looks, and first of all, stage combat is very hard. It's hard to pull off realistically on stage. You can do it in movies. On stage, it is very hard. I had to do a sword fight in a show called Bullshot Crummett. I had to do this big fencing thing. It's hard. So it didn't look real. And in the first act, you would have these vampires floating in the sky and dancing and jumping off bridges. And a minor quibble. The performances were great. The score was... There was one great song in Act 2. The mother sings it. It's called Wild. That is the greatest song in the show. That is a song that made me cry. And if I go to see a musical and if I don't cry at least once, it's totally missed its mark. But Lost Boys, highly recommended. If you're in New York, see it. And if you're in New York, the sax. All right. The beginning of Lost. First of all, understand this about the Lost Boys, Tooth. The shirtless sax player is definitely in the stage version, and he is very, very, very prominently featured. Some changes. The grandfather isn't in it. The grandfather has already passed away. I think before it was Corey Haim. I think Corey Haim was the only frog, but in this there were two frog brothers, which is also very, very funny. Seriously, it's wonderful. The three shows that we saw in New York were all wonderful. I don't think I've ever seen a terrible show in New York. I mean, all shows are good. Hello, doggy. Hello, the moss green. Hello, doggy. The doggies are here. Oh, the doggies. I didn't see her come in. There's our friend Molly. I should probably be playing the game, but this is what happens with the game. Let me know in the chat. Should I just stop playing the game? Is it interesting if I play the game, or would you rather have me guys just talk to you and talk about Molly? Do you guys like it? Watching an old man stumble his way through a game horribly. Will I say hello to your doggy? Hello, Odin. Odin. I'm assuming Odin is a boy because you're a good boy, Odin. Odin is a good boy. So I think it's funny. I think we all do, right? It's not just me. We all give names to our dog. Well, not names, voices to our dogs. You know, we give them human attributes as they talk back to us. And I always think, as I give my dogs, you know, this is Callie. Now, Callie comes from Española. Callie is the smarter dog. And Callie also has a very, very fucking bad mouth. She is a cocksucker, man. She likes to talk very, very bad and very fast. And Molly is from... we want both. If only I get, well, Molly's here. Callie is the dogs have arrived.
Guaranteed
Here's
with a
little one.
fascinating
Callie's the one that
stranger.
talks like this, and Molly is the one that talks like that. Molly is the one that talks like that. Molly is from Las Cruces. And again, they're both shelter animals. If you want a dog, if you want a cat, get them from a shelter, man. Get them from a shelter. These dogs, they enrich our lives in ways. Bottle the Moon gifted one sub. Why, thank you, Bottle the Moon. As they say in one of my favorite musicals, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Anyway, I can tell that Captain Rector, you know a lot about musicals, and I think we're gonna have to talk. When I'm at my table at fan conventions, there are several things I am not allowed to talk about, because once I start to talk about them, I will not stop talking about them. One of them is, of course, musical theater. One of them is Star Wars, because who doesn't love to talk about Star Wars? And also theme parks. And on the Star Wars lane, I did... Maybe I don't know if I mentioned this before. Maybe I did last time. I don't remember, because I don't remember where I watched it. But I was at a convention. I said, you know what? I am just going to start watching through the whole Star Wars, the series. And I started with Phantom Menace. And you know what? I got to admit, man, I was a fan of the prequels before it was cool. And what's cool is a lot of you guys grew up with the prequels, so that's going to be your Star Wars baseline. I like the prequels. I love, the middle three. The less said, the better.
I think you got it right.
Yeah, I do. There we go. I got to get back to BioShock because I'm talking. Okay, here we go. Yeah, once I start talking about musicals and Star Wars, we're done, man. I'm not going to play the game. I'm sorry. BioShock is a lovely game, but for me, it's not Star Wars musical theater theme parks. All right, here we go. We're going in. I burped. Sorry.
Everybody burps.
I'm gaseous. I'm gaseous. Time's time. There's no more. No. Am I where I should be, sort of, or not?
You are where you should.
It seems like I'm kind. It seems like I've been. Oh, you want a piece of me, buddy? Yeah. What is going on? Pick up. Pick up.
Good thing that we're shooting at you.
Yeah, I know, man. That could have turned out very badly for me. Electric buckshot, bada bing, bada boom. What's this? Anything I need? All right, now I'm concentrated. As long as I'd look over there at the chat and it's like, ooh, squirrel. Ooh, I'm playing BioShock. Squirrel. Oh, look at squirrel. Hi, buddy. Hey, man, you know what? Hey, did you like that? How'd you like that, Mr. Splicer? Do you like that? And by the way, you know what? Just because, you know what? How you like that? Motherfucker. Yeah, you shoot at me. You like that, huh? Okay, or maybe that's enough. Somebody came. I saw somebody online said, "Uncle Iro would never do such horrible things." And the point to remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, is I am not Uncle Iro. Do not confuse me for Uncle Iro. I am Greg Baldwin. I am a human. Ooh, that looks delicious. With all that comes with that. Sometimes I'm a nice guy. Sometimes I am a complete asshole. As those that know me well can absolutely attest. as my family can certainly attest. Thank you, family. Thank you, family, for putting up with me. Oh, you. Oh, man. Come on, man. I'm gonna use up all my ammo. There. Fucker. I believe I need some first aid. Oh no, they're everywhere. Oh man, I hate those things. All right, I'm gonna go hide. I'm gonna hide. I'm hiding. They're still chasing me. Man. I'm gonna use up all my ammo. Oh, did I get them? I think I got them both. But there will be more coming, right? Because once they come, they're there. What's that? It's glowing. It feels like. Oh, all right. You know what? I hate you guys so much.
You kill you! You think I come here, you?
You guys, I can kill.
We're out of ammo.
This what you said? Is it? Mom? Look.
Bum 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 bum. I think that's a new tradition. Every time I get killed, I'm totally going to do that. Every time I get killed, I am totally going to do that. All right, you know what? Fuck it.
Press
You know what?
this button.
This button here?
Yeah.
Oh, so I have.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I've got ammo.
yeah. And you have different types of ammo for all of your guns. So
Oh, so even my submachine gun? I love my submachine gun. Oh, I have Incinerate back. All right, I'm going to go with Incinerate for a while. I like Incinerate. All right. We're going in. We're going back in.
I saw an Uncle Iroh tattoo today. Okay.
Ah. Well, if you guys haven't seen it, there's my Uncle Iroh. Well, it's the Lotus tile and the Fire Nation symbol. Once you start, once you start getting tattooed, it becomes a serious thing, man. I can understand that. I never liked needles because I always thought getting a tattoo would be like getting an endless shot that never ended. An endless shot that never ended. Well, that was certainly redundant. Remember to me, use your words better. Greg Radine, use your words better. Eve Link. I'm not sure what that is, but gives you a large amount of Eve. Well, yeah, I'll take it, man. That's why $28. I wish I had more money. Don't we all?
I'm sure there will be many good daddies to kill.
Yeah, I'm going to keep with my Incinerate. I like incineration. Incineration. Honestly, a timeless conundrum. The needles, a tattoo is not like that. It is not. It does not feel like you would think. And seriously, nobody hates needles more than me. I used to get a shot, and I would say to the nurse, where can I throw up because this is going to make me physically sick. I didn't like the idea. I just didn't like the idea of a needle, putting shit in your body.
This is where you came from.
Okay, well, we don't want to be there. You can't go back. That's what they say. We're going in. I have to say, though, this show is still so remarkable. Ah, look at that, baby. Ha ha! Gonna kill you, motherfucker. Although, actually, okay. I'm gonna keep going this way. I do not like those things. Bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. I look so lifelike, don't I? I snorted. Yeah, sometimes I snort when I laugh. Oh, I imagine I wouldn't have. The Air Force, military service in general. I did not serve for two reasons. I have a problem with authority figures, and I'm a coward. So I think ultimately probably would not have been a very good fit. Am I going back or in the right way?
That is the right way.
Through this
thing.
through the beautiful Rapture cityscape.
Again, it's rough without the hero.
It is rough without the arrow, because at least then I know this is where I should go. Ooh, that was kind of creepy sounding.
Just killing you.
Invent items? Yeah, I'll invent and bloating. Can I do that? Do I have enough?
Yeah, you did.
Anti-personnel. I invent those too, man.
You don't have enough.
Now we're done. All right. All right. Going back. Then we'll keep with the incinerate for a while.
God damn, I want to pierce the open so bad.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh when I kill things. But I mean, it's kind of the game, right? And if you guys had seen me playing on my first game, as bad as I am now, so much better than it was. What are these guys? Those are just,
Those are just lights.
I think I've been here. I haven't been here. Didn't like that much, did you? We're going in. All right, first aid. Definitely apply the bandages. Definitely apply the bandages. What we got in here, I'll take it. I'll take it, baby. There's some shit in here, too. New diary hold. Ooh, I got some good shit there. Return of the Burning Man. Burning Man. Have any a question for the chat? Have any of you guys ever been to Burning Man? I have this burning desire to go. My big brother, before he passed away, we had sort of made a pact to go, and then he died. So I sort of feel like I should actually go at some point. I've been here because I just searched it. But I mean, honestly, if any of you guys have been to Burning Man, how would an old dude like me? Would I like it? Would I hate it? I do like my creature comforts, but I also like the party. So I don't know, you know. I don't think I'd like the dust and the heat, but I would like the party element of it. And what I love about I love the idea of Burning Man that it's a no money society. You just everything is just on trade, and what you have of value to trade someone else. I think that gifting. I believe it is a gifting.
Lauren says, knowing you.
Well, probably not. You know, I do enjoy my room service. Room service, my nieces and nephews. Room service is one of the most wonderful things ever invented by man. You call up and then they bring you things. Tip though, if you're staying in a all right, if you guys are staying in a hotel, here's as someone that travels a lot. Here is my tip for you guys. Order Subway, Uber Eats, Subway. The beauty of Uber Eats is you order like a foot-long sandwich, a big-ass sandwich. And if you're there, going to be there all night, you get some chips with that. You know, I generally get nachos, Doritos. Get yourself some milk and some cookies because you're going to want that later at night for your, snack before you go to bed. I find that is the perfect. Oh. That was fun. Oh, you just thought you were getting up, did you? All right, I'm on a roll. Anyway, that's a very good, because it keeps all night, You're sticking in the resistance. You don't want to eat the whole sandwich. You got some later. You can watch some TV. You got snackables. And if you're a real travel tip is Bullet bourbon. I know if you're not a bourbon drinker, you're screwed. But if you're a bourbon drinker, Bullet bourbon has a very distinctive bottle, and it's made of heavy glass. You wrap that shit up, put it in your checked luggage, and you don't have to go to the hotel bar. Although I also go to the hotel bar, so it happens. What happened? Speaking of which, take a little break here. Have a little whiskey. Tennessee Jack Daniels, honey. Baker's Mark is my drink. Yeah, generally, if I'm going to drink something straight, and I have also, I like it neat, and I like it in Boulevardiers. Boulevardiers have a lot of sweet shit. They put more weight on me, and that's the last thing I need. Neat gets you drunk very quickly. I like Maker's Mark with a lot of ice these days. Or you could do vodka with a lot of ice as well because it dilutes down, so you're actually getting hydrated. Excuse me, my friends. It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. All right. This is not a children's show, by the way. I'm just. Should we put a disclaimer on the show? I don't know. I do drink. I do enjoy the magical herb and always have. I don't know. I don't know if we should actually. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. No one's.
I don't know what the logistics of that.
No one sued me yet, and they haven't muted any of my my videos yet for the copyrights. So it's actually a good thing. It makes me happy. All right. Have I searched the lockbox? Oh, goal completed. I obtained 7 chlorophyll solution. What would be great would be if I had the arrow. I think I might get that chain tattoo.
Just wait until you get to later in the game.
All right. Here's the thing, guys. I will get the chain tattoo when I kill Fontaine.
You might not want to after that.
I might not want to, but I feel like, that's when because I have Clone Wars on my arm. I've got Fallout 4 on my arm, obviously Avatar. I've got Samurai Jack on my arm. I do not have BioShock, and I also would like to Ghost of Tsushima on there at some point. So when I beat the game, that's what we'll
Guarantee
do
with
that.
a fascinating
If
stranger.
I ever beat the game.
Ooh, got another sub.
I guarantee you guys will be here. Another new sub. Well, I thank you. Bottle the Moon has gifted a sub. I thank you, Bottle the Moon. It's that old Bottle the Moon. He gifted another sub very soon. All right, I just had a drink and I hit. That's about as much rhyming improvisationally is difficult.
I get you to answer a question that I saw a couple times.
What year? What's the story? What's the question?
Someone in the chat asked a couple times what your favorite episode to record was of Avatar: The Legend of Korra.
All right, 2 of them actually. I loved. I mean, obviously, the Zuko forgiveness scene was a wonderful scene to record, and the beauty of beauty of Avatar is sometimes it'll just be one person in the recording booth. And Avatar tried to get us all together, and so I was with Dante on that particular recording session. I think we both knew that this is going to be a killer episode because there's a lot going on in it. And I also very much enjoyed recording the Spirit World, the Legend of Korra, the Spirit World episode. I think it was the first time I met Janet. And Janet, you guys have not met Janet. Damn it, Janet. If you meet her, sweetest person you will ever meet. You know, I think I don't think anyone's with me next week in Virginia Beach. I don't think, I could be wrong. I know Janet is going to be with me very soon.
Oh, yeah, where are you going?
I'm going to Virginia Beach next week. I will be in I'll be in Virginia. As
Event.
at Tidewater Comic Con in Virginia Beach, which Janet's in Oklahoma City. I knew that I was going to see. I am solo. I thought I was going to be Janet very soon, and so the week after I'll be in Virginia Beach this week. The week after that, I'll be in Oklahoma City, GalaxyCon, and the week after that, I will be at Fan Expo Philadelphia, which I'm excited about because I love the musical 1776. And to be in Philadelphia in early June, late May, I want to find out if it really is hot as hell in Philadelphia. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have. All right, I'll send an Uber for you. Timeless Conundrum. In fact, I'm taking everyone in the chat. I'm taking you all out for ice cream after the show tonight. It's going to be fantastic. And I think at this point I have not. I've been publicized for everything I've mentioned because the cons get weird. You know, they want to announce it first. So sometimes if I have a little drinky and I talk a little too much, what are you gonna do? All right, I am going to. Time is running out, baby. Ooh, it has been a good show tonight. That's always a good show. I was wondering how it would work just in con season with me out every weekend and how, doing the show would feel. I love it. I love doing this show. It is good therapy. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I love to perform. I think I'm more than an actor. I think I've always been a performer. It's what I like to do. An entertainer, if you will. In the old days, I would have been a vaudeville. In the old days, if my family had lived in the 1910s, the Baldwin family would have definitely had a vaudeville act. I promise you that. My kids, God love them. We used to make them perform, and they were always troopers, man. At the church in Westminster Presbyterian, where we used to go. The Baldwin family rendition of "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer." Maybe one of these days I'll see if I can find the video. We do have video. We might run it because it's very funny. And we were good, man. My kids, man, they learned early on to hit your mark. And you know what? Just because I'm feeling kind of like an asshole. Boom. That's something Aku would do. Aku would totally have done that. I'm sorry, ma'am. I honor you. I'm sorry. You tried to kill me, though. And I wasted ammo on you. I shouldn't have done that. Am I just wandering around and not even remotely being where I should in terms of moving forward in the game?
I mean, you've made progress. Remember that pop-up that said you got up with chlorophyll or whatever?
I'm gathering stuff. It seems like this Arcadia is a long ass. Some of the others have been a lot easier to get out of. What's the next one after this? Oh, no. That's not good. Run. Do I have first aid left? I do. Good. Let me go over here. I want to incinerate. Where's incinerate? I want to incinerate. Where's incinerate? Ah, there we go. This is that kind of fun. You know, I have to say, you know, did I kill him? He looks kind of burning. Bum, 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 bum. Now time for a bit of a corpse reviver.
You say that was one of the grossest drinks that you've ever
No,
had.
actually, it was a pretty good drink. The corpse reviver was a good drink, but it got me drunk. I have no idea why. Liquor is a weird thing. Sometimes you can drink all night and you're fine. That particular drink, I don't know what was in it, but it totally, you know, affected me. Tonight, yeah, and I think that was it. I don't usually drink gin. This drink tonight now, the bourbon, that was fine.
They love the bit.
You love the bit?
The death bit.
You like the bit? All right, we will totally keep the death bit in. And you know what? And for that matter, every time, you know, I get killed in the future, I would ask you, my nieces and nephews, if you have any tea nearby, or if you have any tea nearby, whenever I'm killed and I do the bit, I would ask you to honor me as you would honor the dead. And unfortunately, speaking of honoring the dead, we're going to move into a more a sentimental and more a less. Now, there's one more thing I would like to share tonight, because if we're talking about light, we have to be honest about the dark. Christmas Eve, too many years ago, back to Christmas again. My father had pulled the graveyard shift at the potash mine where he worked in Hobbs, New Mexico at the time. Obviously, there was no way that he would be available to help Santa, you know, assemble and deliver our toys. Oh my God, what a calamity for a kid. Still, my parents were determined to save Christmas, and they hatched a magical scam. They told my brothers and I that Santa was running late, but that he would try to squeeze us in as his very last stop in the morning. Now, as you can see, there's just one problem. Children are not allowed to see Santa Claus, ever. Nobody is ever allowed to see Santa Claus. Duh. I mean, right? Rules are rules. So my mother loaded us into the family car. I think it was an Oldsmobile Cutlass. I don't remember. And she drove us around for an hour and a half so that Santa, AKA my old man, could do his good work unseen. Killing time so magic could happen. Now, I didn't know that then. And it was maddening to a child of 6. Let me tell you, man, just cars and radio static and a nagging suspicion that there might be gaping holes in this whole Santa Claus story, you know? Today, I see it. This woman was building a little pocket of wonder out of thin air, buying time with love and gasoline. That's what mothers do. They cheat reality just enough for the kids to believe in something else, something bigger. However, to be brutally honest, my mother could be a lot. Her sharp Texas tongue could cut glass, and she handed some of that down to me. It's in my very DNA. Sometimes it shows up when I don't want it to, like a surprise guest star nobody asked for, or a reboot of the Harry Potter series. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. My mother's words could sometimes be cruel, but there was always love underneath them, even when they came wrapped up in sandpaper. When my father passed away in 2008, something in her left with him. She held on for a few years after that, but her light began to flicker. I was in California, and my brothers, Dale and Jeffrey, they were in Texas. And they did the hard, they did the unglamorous, they did the necessary things. They were there. They showed up, and I did not. And that is a burden I will carry with me until I meet Mako. When the time came and my mother was placed in an assisted living facility, she made her choice. She refused food, she refused water, and then she just checked out on Christmas Day, of course. Mom always did like being the center of attention, She did. Nothing's gone forever, only out of place. When you need her touch and loving gaze, gone but not forgotten is the perfect phrase. Shining from a star that she makes glow. Trust she's always there, watching as we grow. Find her in the place where lost things go. Merry Christmas, Ma. But here's the thing, my nieces and my nephews. There is another mother in my life, my beautiful, darling wife of almost 42 years now, Melissa. Now, in our house, we do not watch the Super Bowl, never, because the Tony Awards are our Super Bowl. Now, both of our children attended Burroughs High School in Burbank, California. Hi, Callie. And they were enthusiastic, you distracted me, they were enthusiastic members of what is widely regarded to be one of the very best high school show choirs in the country. And our son Cooper, as a freshman, he got bumped straight up into the varsity choir. Of course, because boys who can actually sing are very rare currency in the show choir universe. Sydney, our daughter, who should have moved up that year, and it still pisses me off to this day, but she did not, and the list was posted on, wait for it, Mother's Day. Melissa was faced with the almost impossible maternal task of celebrating Cooper and comforting Sydney. And I watched her hold both realities in the palm of her hand. She didn't fix or diminish either one. She just was there for them, right? And that's the magic trick. That is motherhood. So when I think about my mom and I get all maudlin, I don't just think about where the lost things go. I think about Melissa. And I don't just see what was lost, but I see with my own eyes what was carried forward, what was transformed and kept alive. I think a lot about ripples. Been a common theme in my life. Someone does something seemingly very, very small, and then it echoes throughout the decades in ways you might not ever even get to see. So
if you're missing someone tonight, if there is an empty chair at your table, remember, their light did not go out. You're carrying it inside you right now. I'd like to think that tonight, Radine Baldwin, is up there in the spirit world right now, knocking back a bourbon and Coke with my father, and she is looking down at me right now, and she is saying, Gregory Dean Baldwin, you are still full of shit. Okay, so let's take our 30 seconds of silence now. No talking, no chatting, no joking, no singing, just remembering. Then you know, as always, the strongest people in the world are our mothers. Here we go, 30 seconds, guys. Thank you for that, my friends. And thank you for our mothers, the women who keep loving us even at our most unlovable. My mother was a force of nature, a hurricane. And Melissa, my beautiful Melissa, is the calm in the eye of the storm and my family's center of gravity. You know, our kids call her when life gets hard. They call me when they want the Netflix password. But tonight we honor all of our mothers, biological mothers, chosen mothers, stepmothers, grandmothers. I have been called a mother once or twice myself, but I don't think the term was used affectionately. We honor the ones still here and the ones that we miss. So let's sing our way out, folks. We played a game. We had some laughs, but all things have to end. And so, until we meet again, destiny is your friend. Thanks again for sharing a few hours with me, my nieces and nephews. You know the drill. Follows and subscriptions support the show. So share, clip, spread the word, shout it from the digital rooftops. I will be, as you heard, appearing at the Tidewater Comic-Con in Virginia Beach on May 15th and 16th. So please, if you're in the area, drop by, say hello. Free selfies for anybody who subscribes to this channel. Such a deal it is. Now, next Tuesday is National Plant a Tree Day. So we'll be talking about gardens and growth and weed and wisdom and the little things we plant that outlive us. Until then, be well, be happy, be kind. Call your mother. Good night.